Oh no, the Doctor and Clara have been miniaturised and they can't get away from their enemies. Do you know what they need? A TARDIS.
With our base, which this time it comes in 3 sections. There's a hexagon here, I'll explain that later, but there are red slots on there, so you need to make sure that they're cut through, because that is very important. We've got our 7 tabs around the edge, which will hold our back walls just as before. And because we're on the new scale, the back walls are a lot easier. They come on one piece of paper. Fantastic. Again, cut them out as before. There's a little red slot there that would be for the floor, and fold them into shape, and then you can start attaching them as before to the tabs on your base. Now be aware that they are all numbered, and keep a note of the numbers. I've written them on the back just so I'm absolutely clear what's going on. Number 4 is the one with the door at the bottom, and for this one I'm actually going to cut out the doorway, and you'll see why towards the end. So that means tab number 4, we'll just be folding that flat. We won't be sticking anything to that just yet. So there we have our 6 wall sections. I've taped them together at the back and also taped them to the tabs at the bottom, and as you can see, it's starting to look like the TARDIS that we all know and love. Now, to add a little bit more stability, we've got these floor sections, and these slot through the doorways, go through the red slots at the back, and then they will there are little slots in the corners which will hold the door pieces together. There we go. Now the floor section is in 2 sections, simply because I couldn't fit it all onto one A4 page. And you might want to put a little bit of sellotape on the edges and in the middle just to hold it all together. Now the next bit is this central bit, and you will have a console kind of shape with portholes on. Simply cut that out and fold it together, put the slot in there like so. Now you've got these white tabs, and if you cut out your red slots earlier, this will fit quite happily into the middle here. Now this is going to start to get crowded, so before it does, I'm going to turn your attention to the back wall here in these first sections. They've got a couple of slots on, and that is for your landing, I guess, at the bottom of the stairs. So that slots in happily there, and we're going to put some stairs there. Now this time for the stairs, done something a little different, because obviously it's small, we can put it all on one piece of paper. So what we've got is, this is it when it's flat. Cut out these flaps in the underside. If you fold those in, they're going to support your stairs. And we've also got, it goes this way, these bits which, when you concertina it into your staircase, these side sections fold round, and the grey hatched bits fold underneath the step, and again that will support your step, because obviously these figures are smaller and a lot lighter than the bigger ones, so the stairs will be able to support them. Fold the steps back onto the underside, fold up your railings, and there's your staircase. This is actually the middle one. The bottom one looks like this, almost exactly the same, except it's only got the railing on one side, and that, through this handy tab, slots into your wall. So now we've put in the groundwork, it's time to start building up the central column. The first bit is the green stripy looking bit, and that's going to be your under column. Simply fold it round and insert the tabs into the slots like so. You'll notice there's a white band at the bottom that slots like so into your base. Then you have these sections. These are going to support your console base, and simply fold those in half to make it even stronger, and then slot them into the slots on the side of the green column. There's 6 of those in total. So we're going to turn our attention away from this for a second and deal with the platform that's going to go on top, and that looks like this time. What I've done, and I urge you to do this, is put it on, if you're making this out of paper, this really should be on card, because this is going to be where your figures are going to stand. This time it's got a little railing so your figures don't fall off, and do not forget to cut out the slots, because this is where your time rotor column is going to go. There's also the underside. I'm going to start building this up, because once it's on there it's going to start to get fiddly. First thing we're going to do is put on the circular consoles that go around the edge, and these haven't changed since the 5-inch version. Cut them out, fold them round, don't forget to leave the white tabs. So fold it in half, fold the sides in, and then you can add the console bit to the top, and then it's already bent round, and what you can do is put it in the slots, the red slots on the side. What I've done with this is I haven't glued it all the way round to the cardboard, so there's a flap around the edge, and that makes it easier just to slide the circular column under the flap so it will stay in place. I've attached the circular consoles to the base. The next thing is obviously the time rotor in the middle, and this, exactly like the last time, is very simple. Simply fold it round, put 2 prongs at the bottom, and if you were diligent and cut out your holes in the console base, these will slide very happily into there, like so. And then these prongs fit snugly into the column on the bottom. Now that looks a bit wobbly, so before we go any further we're going to add the exit doors. As before, fold it into the box shape. You've got this pink tab, which if you fold that in on itself, that creates the top of the door surround. A little bit of tape, just to hold that all in place. Now on the downloadable one, this is twice the size because I realised this is too flimsy. So fold that over, then fold it over again, and then the 2 slots go into the 2 red slots in the bottom of your TARDIS exit door. And that will be a support for your platform. Pop that into your TARDIS proper. Then you can bring your console in, and there is a slot on the base floor which goes into your TARDIS. We've got a floor section missing. Who knew? That is attached to your top stairs. Exactly as before, fold it all out, then your floor section, just like the other floor sections, folds in between your doors, and there's your upper stairs. Now how's the Doctor going to get downstairs? We happen to have a 3rd set of stairs which fit snugly from top to bottom. Now before we get to the really fun part of building up the console proper, let's do a little bit of health and safety and put some railings up. Now I've done these differently this time. They look like these sort of T-bars, but these bits you will notice match the floor. So fold those round, fold round the little tabs on the side, and this should quite happily slot between the wall sections, and then the white tabs just slot around between the wall. There we go. Now the Doctor and Clara can run across there without fear of falling off. Now for this central console. Before we can put the console on itself, we've got to put on the supports. Now they come flat like this. Simply fold along the diagonal line, and then you've got your tabs which will slot into your slots on your time rotor column, like so. Then we've got the console itself, which is exactly the same as the one we did underneath. Simply cut it out, fold it round, put that slot into there, and then thread that over your column. Like in the other video, these are blank, yours won't be. Fold along the lines, fold in on itself, and then itself again, so that you create a little arm, and this slots very handily into, there are 2 slots on either side of the column. Now you could leave it there, but there is more to do, including the column on the top. So we've got an extra bit of column to put into the top there, exactly the same as the others. Fold it round and then pop that into the top of your column. Then we've got the cone. Again, very simple. Cut it out, fold it into, or curl it into the cone shape. Put the tab in the slot. Thread it onto the column. And then we've got the 3 rings that make up the top. Again, because it's smaller, I'm able to do these in one piece each. And all you do is cut them out, fold up the tabs, and then fold up the rings, bend them round, a little bit of tape to keep them in place, like so, and now we can just build it up. And there we go, it's all finished. Oh, but hang on a second, what about that door that I cut out at the back? Doesn't seem to go anywhere, does it? We need a corridor. Start with the floor, there we go, nice and easy. Then, we've got these 2 corridor sections. This flat section goes against the TARDIS interior, and then you've got your curved section, which you fold, and if you stick that in place, that makes the other part of the corridor. Now the Doctor and Clara have got somewhere to go beyond the TARDIS. But more importantly, they've got a means of travelling time and space to wherever they need to go to fight whoever they need to fight.